What's good, YouTube fam? Hold up. All right. Um. If you've read the name of this YouTube video, you understand what I'm about to talk about, and I actually feel it's a little funny because I'm imagining all the things that you're thinking about right now, and it's not what you think. um. I'm not. This is not another video talking crap about the red pillars. Um, I'm just going to tell you why I don't listen to them. You see, the thing about these red pillars is that it's a super niche subgenre. It is such a small, minute class of people. Not everyone talks like this or thinks like this. It might seem like it's really big because, you know, some of these red pillars have YouTube channels that have like hundreds of thousands or even 1 million subscribers. But the reality is this. If you have watched 3 videos, long form videos from a red pillar, you've already learned everything they're ever going to talk about. They will repeat the same thing until the asteroid comes and the second coming of Christ arrives. It is pointless to distract yourself with this type of media. Because a lot of these red pillars talk about, oh, we tell guys what to do. We tell them about working out and how to get girls and how to show initiative and get more money. But then when you watch the videos that they post that actually that get a lot of views, they don't talk about none of that. They don't talk about none of it. None of it at all. None of it. Within that space of people, what's hot right now is talking about women, their promiscuity, their worth, and pretty much how to manipulate and entice them. That's the whole shtick. That's pretty much the whole thing. And I'm not going to sit here and say that everything they say is wrong. There's a lot of good information that you'll find there. But you'll get all that information within one video. The next video, they're going to repeat the same stuff over and over again. And like only 60% of what they're saying is actually valuable. And the 40% of stuff that is complete garbage is the stuff that gets repeated over and over and over again. It just, put it like this, I find it very hard to believe that you started making more money because you were listening to red tubers, to red pillars. I find it really, really hard to believe that you found a girlfriend because of listening to the red pill. I find it very, very hard to believe that you got fit because of listening to the red pill. And ultimately, on my channel, I'm talking about manly pursuits, intellectual pursuits, physical pursuits, spiritual pursuits, pursuits in love. And that's one thing that is nowhere near the red pill space. Love. Love is like non-existent. That's not the reason men get women, according to them. That's the no. It's not companionship. It's not to have someone home so that when you get home you're not alone. Like, it's none of that. It's because men need to screw all day, and that's the whole shtick. I'm gonna try to not be too animate, but I'm gonna try not to be too animated, but it's kind of funny because that's kind of what that whole genre of YouTube videos is about. And I will admit that some of the things they say is good, but some of it is garbage. I'm not a fit guy right now. I was a lot fitter 2 years ago. But I spent a year and a half without working out because of an injury. And I let myself go. I gained like 40 pounds. And not in muscle. I actually lost muscle. Well, I'm not sure if I lost muscle, but I know I gained like 30 pounds of fat. So I can't tell you that these guys are doing terrible when it comes to their fitness. But I saw the video that Andrew Tate put up about how to exercise so that you can be fit. And what he did was what was it called? A clean and press with a burpee. So it's like you do a burpee and then you clean and it's kind of like a deadlift, and then one of those kind of things. So it's like a burpee with a clean and press. He did 25 repetitions. And he was out of breath. And then he did like some bent over rows, and he did some overhead press. And I think the weight on the bar was probably like, I want to say 30 pounds, but maybe it was 30 kilograms. So that would make it 60 pounds. But still, 60 pounds? Like, unless you're an absolute 100% beginner and you're like 14 or a girl. Sorry, girls. Sorry. 60 pounds isn't going to get you anywhere. Your deadlift, you need to get your deadlift into the hundreds. Your overhead press, like 95 pounds on an overhead press is usually where people start off. Like a man, like a man, like, not a teenager. Like, teenager might be less. And if you start off with 50 pounds, don't feel bad. It's normal. But you're not a, influencer talking about this is how you stay fit and saying this 50 pounds, I move it like this, and you'll never, be unfit if you do this every day. You're not saying that. It's just that you're just starting and you're not there yet. So even if you're only using 25 pounds, it's fine. As long as you progress, you add 5 pounds to the bar every week so that within a couple of months you get to that 90 pounds and then that 100, 110, 120, and you keep going up. And if you reach a plateau, you got to switch up your game and start working out other muscle groups to try to achieve that change you need so that you can put that extra 5 pounds on the bar. And the reality is that Andrew Tate is a guy that a lot of people listen to, and I understand it. He's very charismatic. But ultimately, the workout that he provided his fans, it's cardio. It's not strength training. It's not something that's going to keep you fit. It is pretty much just maintenance. You know, if you want to work out so that you stay the same weight that you are right now, then yeah, you could do that. But if you're trying to lose weight and build muscle, not necessarily at the same time, but if you want to gain muscle and tone out and lose weight, lose the belly, lose the beer belly, right? If you want to actually fix your health and fix your physique and become stronger, that's not the way to go about it. He literally says in the video that, you know, hypertrophy is like fake. And hypertrophy is literally the one of the best ways to work out. Like, you need to work out harder than you did last time. You need to lift heavier than you did last time. As you progress, you need to start lifting heavier, more reps, more sets, more intensity, more concentration on form, making sure that you're actually utilizing the muscle group that you're trying to work out. You know, and he claims that you need to do this exercise every single day. And working out every day stunts your growth. It stunts your gains because you're not giving the muscles time to actually build. You know, when you go to the gym, what you're doing is beating up the muscles. When you take your day off, that is when the muscle is repairing and when it's actually building, right? And I don't mean to pick on Andrew Tate. Not that I'm picking on him. Like, let's face it, this guy's a millionaire and I'm literally homeless. But point is that his advice when it comes to fitness is trash. And if you're fully in, like, sucked into that world, then you're gonna say, oh, that's what my favorite guy does, so I'm gonna do it too, and I'm gonna do it every day, and I only need 60 pounds to do this movement, and I'm gonna do it 25 times a day, 25 times, and I'll be freaking ripped like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, I would have understood 60 pounds if it was like, you know, if you're a relatively small or skinny person and it's your first time working out. But most men above 25 can move 60 pounds like nothing. Especially a weight that's designed to be lifted in certain ways. You know, 40 pounds, if it's like a 40-pound sack of rice and it's like all flopping around and you have to like find a weird way to hold it, like that might be a little more difficult. You know, if you're lifting 40, 50 pounds at work, it might be a little more challenging because, you know, it's awkward to lift. But an actual bar with weight on it, 60 pounds is not that much unless you're an absolute beginner. You know, if you're absolute beginner, then you can start with 30, go up to 60, go up to 90. But you have to progress. He never mentioned progressing. He was expecting people to do this with 60 pounds, and that's the end goal. And it's just not going to give you any gains. And I'm not even sure what any of the other red pillars say about fitness, because I've never heard them actually tell me, like describe their diet and their workout regimen, like their actual workout plan. I don't even know what to call it, the regimen, whatever. And what happens is that they talk a big game but deliver very little when it comes to what's actually going to benefit you. And again, I want to make this very loud and clear. I'm not trying to crap on them. They say some things, like I think like 60% of what they say has some validity to it. Like it is logical, it is rational. But ultimately, if that's the stuff that you're listening to better your life, I'm gonna find it a lot harder to better your life watching that than if you was to work out while listening to, what's this guy's name? Huberman. Something Huber, Andrew Huberman or something Huberman. He's like a neuroscientist. And then you listen to his podcast and you're getting all this information about your minds and your brains, and you're getting about pharmacology, and you're getting talk about all these things that involve a man's health. You're learning so much information that's actually useful, and he doesn't spend any time crapping on promiscuous girls. Like, why do you care what a promiscuous girl is doing? Just why? Why do you care? If it's not your thing, fine. It's not my thing either. But who cares? I'm literally never gonna meet that girl. I'm never gonna talk to that girl. That girl is never gonna be in my life in any significant way possible. So why would I care enough to listen to a 3 to 4, maybe even 5 hour podcast about how hypergamy and this and that? It doesn't matter. Ultimately, if you're a normal person and you're not dealing with these like Instagram models that want a millionaire, you get yourself situated, get yourself a good job, make enough money, at least 50 to 60K a year. With 60K a year, you find a girl that's making roughly the same amount. You can settle down, have a girlfriend with intentions to get married at some point. Even if you don't want to get married, you can just stay together without getting married. It's completely up to you guys and how you want to work that relationship out. And if you don't like certain types of girls, then stop going to the place where the girls you don't like are at, right? If you don't like girls that are constantly at the club, then why are you looking for girls at the club, right? So it just doesn't make sense, a lot of the stuff that they say. If you are still in that mindset that you absolutely, definitely, 100% need sex, as much of it as possible, then you're kind of like a horny child. Like there's no nice way to say that. Like if like it's like if you have a girlfriend, you're probably going to hit like 3-4 times a week. Do you really need more than that? You know what I'm saying? And if you're keeping healthy in this area, each time you hit is like what, 2 to 4 hours, maybe 6 if you're going for a marathon. You don't need more than that. And this is the first and last video that I'm gonna make about this topic. I just wanted to put it out there because in my first video I said that if what you're looking for is red pill, because my channel is called He-ManlyPursuits, so I'm talking about men, I'm talking about men's issues, men's health, I'm talking about working out, weight loss, I'm talking about all these things. So I didn't want people to assume that I was another red pillar. And right now I'm just explaining to you guys why I don't bother listening to them. I forget a lot of the names of people that I listen to. I much rather get dating advice from someone like Derek from More Plates, More Dates than from the red pillars. You know, Derek, he's going to give you basic stuff. Oh, I tested this fragrance and I asked girls what they thought of it. And this is the fragrance that most girls enjoyed. Now you know a lot of girls like this odor. You buy it, you put it on, now you smell nice for the ladies. That increases your chances. If, like me, Derek talks about balding, I'm balding as fuck. But the only reason you can tell is because I haven't shaved. I usually shave my head completely bald. I think it looks nice bald. I prefer to be completely bald on top and have a beard and a slightly smaller mustache than this. Um, but Derek, if you want to save your hair, Derek talks about that kind of stuff. And there are some treatments and drugs that you can use to keep your hair. So I would rather listen to Derek talk about how to either fix your balding issue or things that you can do. He talks about a lot of science, a lot of pharmacology. He talks about performance enhancing substances and how they work and why they work and how much is too much. And there's some comical element to it when he's reviewing a story from somebody that somebody posted. Derek is someone that I would rather get this type of information from. And there's a lot of BS fitness gurus, but there's a lot that are good also. There's a few. Who else has good? Greg Doucette has some pretty good information. I've actually been watching him since way, way back in the day when he only had 50,000 subscribers. It's crazy how he blew up in the last couple of years. Yeah, I started watching him when he was like 50K subscribers. And I thought the information he was given was awesome. And I was like, wow, like this guy has the makings to go big because he has good information. Then, like Plates More Dates, Greg Doucette, there's a few others, but I forget names sometimes. And then the rest of the stuff that I listen to is mostly science related, like Rhonda Patrick. She has a lot of information on pharmacology and diets and certain compounds that are in foods and stuff, like things that are beneficial and why they're beneficial and how they work and what's the mechanism of action and all of this stuff. There's a lot of you should be using your time wisely. Listen to people that are going to give you accurate, reputable information about topics that will better your life. Hearing a guy call a girl a 304 for the 10,000th time isn't going to make you leaner. It isn't going to put 10 pounds of muscle on you. It isn't going to help you with your balding. It isn't going to help you with your acne. It isn't going to help you with anything. So, I don't listen to it. It's a complete and total waste of time. And if you truly want to be manly, you would understand that one of the manliest things you can do is allow people to be free. And if a person's interpretation of freedom rubs you the wrong way, but it's not illegal, just don't interact with them. As long as they're not hurting people, as long as they're not killing people, if they're not doing things that are utterly wicked and super illegal, then just let them be. If you're not into 304s, then don't look for them. It's that simple. So, my final words of advice: look for people online that have good information that is going to be useful to you, that you can literally implement in your life and see a actual benefit in your life from it. If you think that you're benefiting from a certain type of talk or a certain type of content, ask yourself, how has my life changed since I started consuming this content? And if all you got is, well, now I know that girls have hypergamy and, I need to be a millionaire with a six-pack abs in order to get a good girl, and even then they'll probably leave me and take half my money and make me pay child support. If that's all you got, then I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. If that's what you're looking for, then keep doing it. But I don't see any benefit in that. It's not going to help me make more money. It's not going to help me gain muscle. It's not going to help me lose fat. It's not going to help me, make any changes in my life that are actually going to be meaningful in the long term. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to continue listening to people that I enjoy and give good information and have good talks and are more about progressing in some sense, or at least being entertaining to some sense. There are people that I listen to that have nothing to do with this, like Osmond Gold, and he's super fun to watch and see his commentary. That's purely for entertainment purposes. And there's a few political streamers that I'll watch just to keep up to date on political stuff